Well, it's that time again. Let's walk in faith, talk about anime, and grow together. Welcome to Reb's Otaku Talk. Hey Otaku fam, welcome back to Reb's Otaku Talk, the podcast where faith and fandom collide. I'm your host Rev, and with me are my co-host K2.
Howdy, howdy.
And Techs-Mechs.
Hola.
And this is Season 3, The Character of Characters. In this season, we'll be taking a deep dive into the hearts, minds, and moral journeys of some of the most unforgettable characters in anime. This season, we're going beyond the battles, beyond the art, and beyond the hype. We're breaking down what truly makes a character compelling, their choices, their struggles, their growth, and what their stories can teach us about purpose, identity, and perseverance. From heroes to villains, side characters to legends, we'll explore how character shapes their story and how it can shape ours. So power up, press play, and get ready, because this is Reb's Otaku Talk. Let's get started. So in today's episode, we are going to honor Pokemon's 30-year anniversary. And, they've come out with some pretty cool stuff this year. For the 25th, I think mostly what we saw was a bunch of cards. Like, they did a bunch of card packs and stuff. And, they partnered with McDonald's, and they had a few things they released to the stores. A lot of the junk you had to order online. So the 25th, even though it was very well advertised, I don't feel like they really produced. They didn't produce to the standard that they produced for the 30th. I know that they did release a new card series, and they were sold out within a day, man.
Wow.
And then May 2nd, certain select targets, they were releasing limited merchandise on May 2nd. They opened the stores early, and the only way you could get in was if you were there to buy the Pokemon merchandise.
Wow.
And if you weren't allowed to go into the store.
That's a big deal.
And what's crazy about it is the merchandise that was there, that's all that they were getting. They weren't getting any more in. Once that merchandise was sold, all of it was gone. Whenever they said limited,
they really
meant limited.
Yeah.
And me, Raver Mom, and the Otaku kids, we went to Target. Raver Mom went before us, and then I was asleep still. She messaged me and she's like, "Oh, I forgot. May 2nd, they're doing the stuff at Target for the Pokemon release. If you want to come down here." And so I got the Otaku kids up. We went down there and we stood in line in convention fashion for Pokemon stuff, which is pretty funny. We were in a Pokemon event line, and I was wearing Demon Slayer merchandise. There you go.
That's the next in line.
Yep.
But it was pretty cool to got to see a lot of the merchandise that they got. We got to see all of it. But the cool thing was the very first thing, whenever you walked through the door at Target, they had a little like standee up there where the kids and people could take a picture for the 30th anniversary. Cool. In front of the backdrop, and then they gave you a free button that you would only get at that event, and it's the partnership between Pokemon and Target.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. A whole event.
Yeah, it was 3 buttons. It was the 3 originals from the video game. So Pikachu was not a button. Mm-hmm. It was just Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle. Mm-hmm. So between me, Raver Mom, and Princess Vivi, we made sure we got all 3.
Nice.
And then once we got back to the merchandise, we got to see just how limited the products were. I know in our local Target, for like the first thing you saw were the hats and a t-shirt on an end cap. And they had a ton of Psyduck hats. And they had a very limited supply of Ditto hats. So I was lucky enough to grab a Ditto hat. Mm-hmm. Whenever I went and grabbed it, so the doors were only open for maybe 3 minutes. Whenever we got to the back, and there was only 3 Ditto hats on the hanger.
Yeah.
So I went and grabbed the
You
Ditto
barely
hat.
got one.
And then they had a center aisle stack out that had the tumblers. They had mystery water bottles, and they had I think they had some more hats on it. And we got each of the Otaku kids got a tumbler, which is it's just a clear cup with one of the characters on it. I think we got between all of them, they got one of each. And then I showed you guys the Pikachu one.
Yep.
And it's pretty cool because it's plastic. The graphic is very sharp, very bright.
Very
you know,
retro.
Yeah.
And that's the whole deal. They wanted it to look like 1997, 1998.
They pulled it off, I think.
And then I got to show you guys the hat, the Ditto hat, which is a very well-made canvas-style baseball cap. And then the shirts, very awkwardly sized, very well-made. I mean, got one a little bit larger because I got wide shoulders, and it was a very wide shirt.
Yeah.
But it was very short. I mean, even before I tried to wash it and shrink it, and it now it's 1 inch away from revealing my belly, but it's still a foot wider than I am. But
Almost
it fits
got-
my shoulders.
You almost got yourself a crop top there.
According to Raver Mom, it's the style. I was like, for girls.
Yeah. I don't remember that
I was
being in
like,
the 90s.
but this was
Yeah.
a dude shirt. It wasn't made for girls. But I got the teal and pink Jigglypuff shirt, and the material on it was very well made. Again, you guys got to see it, and they had a bunch of limited edition stickers. The holographic ones. They had regular style die cut stickers. They had the puff stickers. You know, they kind of like plastic, but they got a little air behind them. They had the glow-in-the-dark Pokemon set where you could put the glow-in-the-dark Pokemon up on the wall. Very good, thick plastic, very well made. Raver Mom got a new bag for school, had Bulbasaur on it. Bulbasaur is her spirit animal. The one thing that I had to see before it was released, I guess Pokemon sent Chloe from, it was a kid who played Zero in Holes. He's got a really big social media following, and he gets a lot of stuff early from Pokemon, Disney, Mortal Kombat. I mean, he gets all the stuff early just so he can kind of put it out there because he's got a very large following. Starter came out with a 90s style jacket partnered with Pokemon, and it is yellow, blue, and red. It's a little bit of white. It's very 90s.
I can't
Very
believe
90s.
that.
Yeah, it really looks good.
Starter is totally on brand for the 90s.
It's really cool. I want to do a short video, showing some of the stuff off for the podcast. But it's really, really cool, and where it has the pocket up front, you flip it up, and it has all the badges from the Kanto region on there. All the Indigo League badges are right there, and it is a really cool jacket. And I know that our location only got 3 jackets in. They had a large, an extra large, and a 2X.
3 total.
3 total.
You sure it wasn't more
There
before
was
you got there?
no more. The manager flat out said,
What?
everything is on the shelf.
Wow.
Once it's gone,
It's
gone.
Wow. Of course, he snuck one inside before the doors open.
The manager didn't even know what Pokemon was.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. She was Gen X,
Yeah.
not into anime at all.
Yeah.
Was not into the Pokemon craze. Apparently her kids weren't into the Pokemon thing
Oh.
back in the 90s and the 2000s.
Yeah.
So she literally had no idea what it was. Her and a couple of her associates, even some who was our age and younger, who didn't know what Pokemon was, had to research what Pokemon was for this event because they had to be able to talk to the customers about it.
Wow.
So nobody kept anything back because they had no idea what it was.
Yep.
But This past week was mine and Raver Mom's anniversary. So happy anniversary, Raver Mom. It's been 19 years of spending life with my best friend.
Congratulations.
Thank you. She's not able to be here tonight, so whenever she hears this, happy anniversary. I love you. And thank you for all my favorite moments in life. It's been amazing, and I can't wait for many more to come. But Raver Mom, upon me taking this jacket and showing it to her, because I had to show her the badges, because I saw it on Chloe's podcast, and I flipped it up, and I showed it to her, and she goes, "You want it?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Heck yeah.
And she's like, "Happy anniversary." And I was like, "I hope my size is still on the hanger," because I just grabbed the one off of the front.
Yeah.
Like I said, I got broad shoulders. The large and the extra large would have, large wouldn't have fit well at all.
Yeah, you gotta be comfortable.
Extra large would have been just, I would have looked very buff in it until it got to the midsection.
And I think these jogging jackets are supposed to be bigger.
So we got the largest size, which was the 2XL, and it fits nice. It's very comfortable. So I count myself blessed to have gotten it. And then I wanted to wear it while we went out that night, and she's like, "Please don't wear the jacket." I'm like, "Why?" She goes, "Because I don't want people bombarding you to look at the jacket."
Oh yeah, I don't even know if I would wear it. I mean, it's in mint now.
Yeah, it is. It's probably just gonna be a convention jacket.
I'd hang that thing up.
And it's where it's been at. It's been in the closet since I got it, except for when I tried it on. But it'll most likely be an event jacket. Just wear it to events.
I'd hang it up on the wall or something.
Go get a jersey frame and just
yeah,
put
exactly.
it in there. Well, I tell you what, I will let Raver Mom listen to this, and then she can give you the stink eye through the podcast.
I think I already see it.
You feel it already.
Yeah, I feel it.
But it's really some really cool stuff that they came out with this year to honor the beginning. The thing that a lot of the little kids who went to the event with their parents didn't understand was, why weren't the Pokemon there that they knew?
Yeah.
Because they honored season 1 in the first set of games. That's it.
It's for the millennial parents.
Yeah.
The 30-year-olds.
All the t-shirts and everything were adult t-shirt.
Yeah.
Adult jacket.
That's really the original fans.
And the 30th anniversary merchandise was made for the adults. I know my kids like Pokemon, but it felt really nice that they wanted to not just honor the beginning, but they wanted to honor the people who made it become the phenomenon that it did. If it wasn't for us millennial fans, Pokemon wouldn't have lasted 30 years.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Once it came over here to the U.S., I don't know many kids who didn't buy Pokemon cards. Even the ones who sit there and say, "I don't know who the Pokemon are," had a couple of Pokemon cards.
Yep.
Everybody
Strangely.
did. It was cool that they wanted to honor us along with honoring where it started. So it was really cool. Happy 30th to Pokemon. I hope Pokemon continues to move through the generations, as it's something that ties the generations together at this point.
It really does.
There's not many animes that do that. And on that note, I want to talk about one of the characters at the beginning. I want to talk about one of the lesser talked about characters. Today I want to talk about the character of Brock. I want to talk about the traits that made him him. As I told you guys, whenever you walk, I think Raver Mom said no to coming in here on purpose. No,
too much testosterone in
she
this
did.
room.
It's the end of the school year for teachers, and exhaustion hits. But it leaves us three talking about the man's man of Pokemon. He was a dude all the way.
Feels like 007.
So a little bit on Brock. Brock is a dependable and level-headed companion in the Pokemon series. He is known for his role as a skilled Pokemon breeder and former gym leader of the Pewter City Gym. He travels alongside Ash and his friends, often acting as the group's caretaker. He cooked their meals, he offered practical advice, and he was deeply knowledgeable about Pokemon health and training. And his calm, responsible nature contrasts with his running gag of quickly falling in love with nearly every woman he met. Beneath the humor, he's definitely defined by his loyalty, maturity, and a strong sense of duty to both his friends and his many younger siblings. Now, I kind of had to throw a lot of the characteristics of Brock into the description, just because of the fact that I think his character traits are kind of worn on his sleeves. Mm-hmm. He carries them on the outside. And comparing Pokemon to other animes, there's very few characters whose traits are that pronounced. It's normally something you have to watch for a while to see the trait come out of them and to learn who they are and their personalities and stuff like that. Brock, it was automatic.
Oh yeah.
He was a jerk at the gym whenever we first met him, mm-hmm. But then automatically, boom, we see him taking care of his siblings. He had to be dad because dad left. He was a full-on natural caregiver. I mean, it's like, the only way I can really describe him is he's like a woodsman in a pink apron. Yep. Because whenever he was taking care of his kids, his brothers and sisters, when he was cooking, he'd always put mom's pink apron on. Yeah. And he would sew and patch up their stuff because they didn't have much money. He would make sure that they were taken care of. And that right there just automatically launched who he was. And the great thing about it is even through the newer seasons, whenever every once in a while he'd show up in a phone call or something like that, that personality never faded off. That's just the way he was. Yeah. And they kept him that way throughout the whole thing. Yeah. And I really think that really speaks to his character, and I think he was like a main side character.
Some of the best characters are.
He wasn't like a primary focus. He was part of the trio of lead characters, but to me, he was still off to the side a bit.
He's kind of like a coach.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for him, honestly, him and Misty both, I don't think that Ash would have made it.
No.
Ash was oblivious. Yeah. You could tell that dude was a slacker from episode 1. Yeah. Waking up late, and then he didn't know how to properly catch a Pokemon. And I can almost guarantee you that Professor Oak went over that junk in class.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Ash...
He was a dreamer, man.
He was ADHD.
Dreamer's got a dream.
he was ADHD all the way.
We didn't call it back then, okay?
And I think that was kind of the personality they were going for with Ash, because of the fact that he learned better by doing.
Yep.
And to have someone like Brock, who was able to coach him from the side, mm-hmm. and able to explain to him how to take care of the Pokemon, how to judge what Pokemon to use in a battle.
Yep.
If it wasn't for that, Ash wouldn't have made it.
Yeah. No. And I think that was a way for the viewer to also kind of like relate with Ash, and because he was kind of a blank slate, from the beginning. So Brock was, in a way, really explaining to us how it all worked, and mm-hmm. Throughout the series he's becoming closer with us because we're feeling the way that he's teaching Ash and how he's reacting, and so he did really become a wholesome character and a real dad figure, even though he did run after the ladies every chance he got.
Every time, yeah.
Well, he's a young guy. He's been cooped up with his siblings for who knows how long.
Yeah.
And he didn't have time to go out there and have a social life.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So whenever he's freedom, my dad finally came back home. The loser finally showed up. Now I get to go be a 20-something-year-old teenager and try to get a girl.
Oh yeah, definitely tried.
He had to spread his wings.
He didn't have the experience of courting, so you can tell as he would try to hit on every woman that he wasn't very versed.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is his mother wasn't in the picture either, and from what I could gather, it was because she died.
Yeah.
It wasn't that she left. Dad left.
Yep.
Yeah.
She passed away. And so he also didn't have the lady in his life to show him how to treat a woman, to
Right.
show him how to talk to a woman.
Let's get over here.
You know,
You're mine now.
he was so easily swooned.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go find a girl.
Totally natural response.
I'm going to be the world's best Pokemon breeder after I find the girl.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but I think again that just ties back into the caregiver end of it, though,
Yeah.
because every time he hit on a girl, he went at them with something to give of himself. I can do this for you. I can do this for you. I can do this.
You want
for
to take
you.
care of them.
He automatically wanted to take care of them. He became a Pokemon breeder
Yep.
and a researcher. He worked with a professor in a lab, and that professor saw the value in him.
Was he a real professor though?
It was a she. The professor was a she.
Was it a real professor?
Yes, it was a real professor in a real lab.
Okay.
But he found his, he found his raver mom. Okay, it's around my anniversary time. I can be mushy. He found his, he found his raver mom. He found that woman that wanted to build a life with him.
That's a good ending.
And that's, and somebody who would help him build his dream while supporting her and building her dream. And they were able to work together to build something. And he actually succeeded in his goal. And it went a little bit of a different direction than what he was planning on doing. But he still succeeded in his goal. All the way around. And I think that we as guys, as Raver Mom put it, this is guys' night. We as guys, we as me and you, Techs-Mechs family guys, and K2.
Yep.
I don't know what your plans for the future are.
I don't know either.
I don't know either.
But I mean, if you decide you want a family one day, like that, it's one of those things where surrounding yourself with that caregiver mentality, and with the example of building your spouse up, building that person that you want to spend the rest of your life with up, that you want to build a family with, and having to see the mature side of it. Like you said, whenever we were little, we were probably all like, Ash, Gary, yeah, want to be the adventurer. But in the end of it, where did Ash end up? Back home with Mama. He never grew up.
He never aged. Did you see him?
But Brock, he actually made something
He
of
won.
himself. Even though Ash was a Pokemon champion, if you want to look at the grand scheme of things, the one person that succeeded in their goals 100% was Brock.
Yeah.
You got to think about it. Misty ended up having a thing for Ash.
Yep.
Ash had a thing for Misty. I'm sorry, dude. You're like 25 years old when you left? No. 35 years old when you left? He was our age. Technically, whenever
Wait.
he left Pokemon.
Was he?
If they would have made him in
Age up?
1998, he was 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
In 2000, or on the 25th anniversary, if I'm not, season 25.
But was it to scale though? It was 1 for 1.
The way they did it, it should have been.
No.
I mean, season 1 happened over, each episode happened over multiple days, and there was over 128 episodes in season 1 alone. That's over a year,
On the first
according to the first season.
season. Yeah.
So if you were to actually do days, day, night, day, night, day, night, day, night, day, night, yeah, he should have been 35,
Yeah. Wow.
at least. whenever he exited.
Yeah.
And they could have had him grow at least a little bit. Just a little bit.
I mean, they kind of did him wrong then, because, he was the blank slate. He was supposed to, personify the viewer, get the adventure, and they kind of restarted him.
It could have became a family thing.
Yeah.
Him and Misty could have got together. They could have had a family, and then you see family adventures, and it could have just built and built and built and built and built and built. It's not what happened. There was no Uncle Brock.
That's kind of sad, actually.
They could have gone in such a different direction. Instead, it literally... I understand the reason why they had Ash make an exit, because they had to end the monotony of Ash and Pikachu.
Well, that was his family.
And I get them having to end it, but I hate the fact that the only person out of the trio that succeeded in everything they wanted to do was Brock. And he was the family guy. He was the supportive guy. He was the one who wanted to care for whoever he ended up with.
Well, if there's one that you wanted to win, it would have
been him.
It was Brock.
Right.
I know.
It would have been sad if it was the other way around.
My favorite Pokemon was Pikachu.
Yeah.
My favorite character was Brock.
Yeah.
For me, I like the cool older guy.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's schooling Ash on how to do things, which pretty much tells me that if Brock were to have kept training and battling, he would have been the one.
He could have been a champion
to be on top. And I think that his character showed a whole lot more importance in what he was doing than the characters that we ultimately kept on top.
Yeah.
And it again, as husbands, as fathers, and even as sons, to learn the caregiving aspect, I think is extremely important as guys, as the males, of our species. And I think that's a core purpose that we don't show enough.
Right.
And I think back to whenever we read the Bible, I think back to, I believe it was Elisha, who during the famine went, came across the widow who was about to bake the last bit of flour they have into a little cake for her and her son so that they could die. And he's like, hey, make me some food, bring me some water. And the lady did it and took care of him because she knew in essence who he was. And because of the fact that she submitted to the man of God standing in front of her, her house was blessed overabundantly, and they were taken care of throughout that time of drought and famine.
Right.
Because the flour was multiplying, the oil was running over. That to me speaks to us as men. If we were to take what little the women that God puts into our lives, we were to take what little they have, and we were to care for it and nurture it, and take that little bit and
fruitful.
take it to heart,
Yeah.
and we were to care for it, and we were to, take that little bit and be the men of God that we are to be, the blessings that could flow from it, being the man of God in our houses, in our homes, and in our families, the blessings that can overpour from it.
Yeah.
We as men, we try to be masculine, and what we forget about masculinity is masculinity isn't all testosterone. It isn't all, oh, macho man, you know? It's not, it's not about being aggressive. The strongest guys I know are some of the most nurturing guys I know. They are strong and they are brutal when they have to be. And that's pretty much when they're being protective. But they are some of the most hardworking, caring guys I've ever met, whether they are out there working a job or they're working at home. They feed into their family.
Yeah.
And that's what they live for.
And when we talk about a core purpose, like, and talk about the most core, you know, it'd be Adam, the first man, right? And when God made him, he put him in charge of all the animals.
Yeah.
So when you talk about caretaker and caregiver and someone that is meant to oversee, but to grow.
Yeah.
That was one of the first things that man had to do, was to place in with the animals. So, you know, he wasn't just out there and, you know, putting them to hard labor and, you know, whipping them, none of that. No, he was there and living amongst them and taking care of them, you know. So that's one of the first things that we actually do have to, there's something deep inside of us that wants that too.
Yeah.
You know, all the testosterone and, you know, the fire within us always wants to be put to the use of protecting others.
Yeah.
You know, it seems very hollow to do it for self-gain. It just doesn't make sense, you know. And it's funny that you bring all this up, because there's something going on in the gaming community with all these games coming out that are depicting fathers in these protective roles.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, God of War with the main character Kratos and his son.
Yeah.
And then Hugh and Diana in Pragmata, you know, which is pretty viral right now. Sorry, Pragmata. And yeah, I think it's really welcome, a really welcome thing to see that family is being viewed once again as a viable way of life, you know, and that's the way God intended, the family unit, that it covers its weaknesses. I know we've talked about this in other sessions, but just to reiterate that's like one of the building blocks of life.
Yeah.
To live as a family, whatever that may look like, you know, whether one leaves the house to work or whether it's the father or the mother, but there's always a team that works together, that's nurturing, defending, correcting, and growing ultimately.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's, like I said, it's something that even if, like Brock wasn't he wasn't married. He was going after the ladies, but it wasn't until multiple seasons that he found the one. But to be a male and still nurturing the lives around him was such a huge deal. And, you know, that's where, you know, we can focus on the family man in the Brock constantly, because, you know, I can relate to him on that aspect, and I know you can relate to him on that as well. But K2, he's not at the family part of his life yet.
No,
he's just, God hasn't put him in that spot. I mean, he's actually quite a bit younger than we are.
Not by much though.
But he can relate to
it's still years, but you can still relate to the part of Brock's development where he was being that to the people around him. He didn't just have the purpose of being that for his family. He had it as a purpose of those around him who he saw needed help.
Yep.
Or those that he cared for. He still had that caretaker and teacher mentality about him.
And it's really a gift. Everyone has a gift that has gifts, and I've seen it. And even within my family, my wife's family, there's people that, especially the, you know, elderly or those who have cared for others, have always cared for others. They have this gift where they have to find someone to care for.
Yeah.
Or else they kind of go crazy. You know, they have to have someone or something. That's why you see a lot of pets. You know, as folks get older, there's always little dogs or some kind of pet because they've taken care of people all their lives, and now there's a hole there where they're no longer taking care of anyone.
Yeah.
And there's a purpose behind it, and it's a gift. Just all kinds of gifts, giving and helping, serving. There's a long list, but
And
that's definitely a good
I
one.
think where the gift and the character trait really hit strong is whenever you're doing it expecting nothing in return.
Yeah, it becomes a joy. There's something that you're doing that's joyful. It's not a tedious thing. That's how you know you got one.
Yeah. So I said Brock's a man's man. he is a realistic dude.
Yeah, very real.
You look again, you said it at the beginning. We didn't notice Brock for what he was whenever we first started watching him back in the 90s.
Yeah.
But looking back at him now, he was the most awesome character.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, chasing girls aside, he was the most awesome character because of the fact that he was the caregiver he was.
Right. And a good example for that.
All right, so I have a couple of questions.
All right.
And, as usual, we got one that is a little on the serious side, one that's going to be more on the fun side. So our first question is, Brock supports his friends behind the scenes. How important is it to be a quiet supporter rather than always being in the spotlight?
You got anything, K2?
I got nothing.
See, we're just both being quiet supporters.
Yeah.
I think this coming from personal experience, everybody wants to have a part of the spotlight. They want to have time to shine, show off, and be a winner, But if you let that ambition become your driving force and really drive you to the top, when you're up the top, then you're going to realize, hey, you're kind of there by yourself.
Yeah.
So, it's nothing wrong with being the best at what you do, but you got to remember the people along the way, to take them with you, to support them in what they want to do. And that's part of that caregiver mentality that you're growing, you're helping them grow, and you're also listening and receiving from them too. I think that's important. Not trying to toot my own horn, sound like, oh, this guy, he's amazing. But, I touched a couple industries, that work out in the sun. And there's a lot of people out there that feel like they're stuck and they have to deal with it and become bitter, and that they don't have a chance to go anywhere, that it's too late, they're too old, they're too dumb, whatever it is. It's not that way.
Yeah.
People they're not confident in their ability to learn and adapt. One of the greatest things that humanity can do is being able to adapt and learn. And so people that feel that are stuck out there and they're in a job that they just cannot stand, there's a way out. There's always a way out. There's another job. There's always another job, and you don't have to just take it. You could get some learning, do some courses, keep looking out for new job postings. Sometimes you have to move. I've had to move more times than I can count, but as long as you're marketing yourself and you're looking for the next best position, don't lie on your resume. Actually apply for what you're capable of, but also don't be afraid to aim for something higher too.
Yeah. So our fun question, if Brock had a social media page, what would his post mostly be about?
Working out at the gym,
No
making
comment.
those gains. Don't at me. A lot of selfies,
I think, as the kids say today, it would be very based.
Yeah.
Based.
Based.
Total Sigma male.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of think it would look like a stalker portfolio. And then After you see all the stalker pictures you have, and now let me teach you how to make the perfect omelet. He's gonna pull an LL Cool J.
Maybe it's just a
The
bunch
perfect
of pictures.
omelet starts with 2 eggs, not 3. And a lot of people think you need to add milk to it to add density. This is a mistake.
Where's that from?
A Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Sea, that's a mistake.
Well, that was my outside of the nerd realm plug.
Yeah, I almost put one in myself.
All right, so for tonight, we're going to do a little Pokemon trivia. Again, this is in honor of Pokemon's 30th anniversary. Because of the fact that I know that we haven't gone too far into the seasons, I probably have watched more of it than both of you, and I haven't... I think I've only watched to like season 6, 7,
Wow,
something like that.
that's still pretty long.
Yeah.
Well, I stayed on the adventure because I wanted to see what happened, but the voice of the new Ash got to me.
Yeah,
I just that's not what Ash is supposed to sound like.
that's why you change over to if you're on sub, that's when you switch over to dub, and if you're on dub, you switch over to sub. Just get a whole fresh new look.
Whole new outlook.
Yeah.
So tonight we're going to do Pokemon trivia, and these are basic questions that
don't know.
Pokemon trainers need to know.
I don't
Okay? You don't know?
I don't know.
Okay. I can tell you the majority of
Pikachu.
this is from seasons 1 through 3.
Okay.
That's the reason why every Pokemon trainer should know it, because, well, it's older information.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get a sheet out here so I can keep track of points, because this is between you two.
That's where I get roasted in the comments.
This is the first face-off of Techs-Mechs and K2. Ah, snap.
Well, that's not counting the mashup
Yeah.
or
No,
and
the-
in the Pokemon games.
Well, those were like with Raver Mom. This is literally just
Just us.
you two.
Okay.
This is
See, who
a
knows less about Pokemon?
this is a mono e mono type deal.
Ooh.
Okay.
Gotta say it was a real Mexican standoff. Really bringing in the Clint Eastwood back.
All right, so K2, Techs-Mechs, and we have the tally sheet ready. All right, so question 1. Which Pokemon can change forms using the move Relic Song?
Jigglypuff?
No. I'll give you 2 guesses.
Relic song. Man, I can't even think of it. I know it's something wild, that's for sure. Is it what's that one that's like all letters?
It's not the unknown.
Unknown? No.
No.
What's the star one? Togepi? No, Staryu?
I'm gonna go with Togepi.
No, it's not Togepi.
Yeah, alright.
And it's not Staryu either.
Oh.
The answer is Meloetta.
What?
Yeah.
I don't even know what
Possibly.
that was.
If you play Pokemon Go, you know.
Definitely don't play Pokemon Go.
All right, so that's possibly going to be the newest question asked. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so question 2. Where is the best place to encounter wild Pokemon?
Tall grass.
Yeah, you got me on that one. Tall grass.
K2, the gamer's coming at him.
Yeah.
Nice.
And these questions are going to be both from the game and the show.
Okay.
So, number 3. This Pokemon is said to lived at the foot of a rainbow. Who is that Pokemon?
Togepi?
No. The people on the other side of the mic are screaming at you right now.
That their screams come Don't know.
Have you guys? Here's a hint. Have you guys watched Pokemon I Choose You movie?
No.
What's the mime?
What?
The mime?
It's
one?
not Mr. Mime. No, you just tanked both yours. Got a second guess, K2?
Nope.
The answer is Ho-Oh, the legendary bird.
Oh. Yeah, from the game.
Yeah. So, gold version.
Yeah.
Question 4. What legendary Pokemon did Ash see on the first day of his Pokemon journey?
You know this show is like as old as I am, right?
Yes, but the I Choose You movie brought all this back up.
Really?
So it's still pretty relevant.
The
No matter
Phoenix
how much
one?
they messed it up.
Entei.
No, it's not Moltres.
No.
It's not Entei either.
Ho-Oh?
It is Ho-Oh.
Yes,
Oh,
I got
okay.
one.
You know what's really crazy though is if you go back and watch the original, like the original first episode release, it's not as detailed as what you would watch if you would watch the I Choose You movie.
Yeah, I would want something more quality too in the movie.
But what I didn't like about the I Choose You movie is they changed the storyline
Oh,
terribly.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Because now, like, which is canon now? It's like
They
you gotta choose one.
They beyond messed it up.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Because it's like, oh, he went through this entire journey and then he came back and then started over.
Huh.
Yeah, no. It didn't work. No.
That's a player playing again.
Exactly. Yeah, it was like restart.
Yeah.
All right, question 5. What are the starter Pokemon for Generation 2?
Cyndaquil.
Okay, you got one.
Oh.
And he says he knows absolutely nothing.
I played Gold version. That's the only one I played. The other two. Chikorita?
Okay, what's the third? You got the grass and fire. You need to give me the water.
Oh, I'm just trying to run through all these pictures in my mind. Squirtle.
No, that's Gen 1.
Yeah.
Hey, K2, are you going to pick this question up?
I got nothing.
You got nothing? Okay, you got one more shot to pick the water. You got Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and...
What's the one with the shell? It looks like a frog. It's before Blastoise.
No, that's still Gen 1.
It is.
You're talking about Wartortle.
Yeah, that's the
Gen
evolve.
1.
Yeah.
You need to move beyond.
Beyond. The water type is the opposite of the one I always pick. Fire.
Yeah, same.
I can't think of it.
It is your crocodile Pokemon Totodile.
Yeah. Wow, totally forgot about him.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
so close but so far away.
Do I get a point for being close?
Should we give him a pity point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got 2
Yeah.
thirds.
He got
Tex-Mex is
two
getting the
of
pity
three.
point.
Yes. I'll take it.
K2 is leading with 2 points, and Tex-Mex and his 1 pity point.
I thought I got one before.
Yeah.
Which one did? Oh yeah, you got Ho.
Oh ho.
Okay, so you
we're
guys
tied.
are tied up.
That's what I'll talk about.
There you go. All because of a pity point.
I'll
All
take
right. Question number 6. Which Pokemon has the ability to disguise?
Mr. Mime?
Nope.
Ditto.
No. Ditto's transformation.
Oh. Disguise. It's the lady one. Got like blonde hair and a dress.
It's not Jinx.
It's not Jinx.
Alakazam?
Nope. You guys ready for the answer?
Yeah.
It's Mimikyu.
Okay.
It's the
Makes
weird,
sense.
freaky one that dresses up like a Pikachu.
Yeah.
Like a
It's like an off-brand
messed
Pikachu.
up, freaky Pikachu. Yeah.
I thought that was a
Ditto,
newer one than.
It is a little newer,
Yeah. Okay.
but it's just beyond popular.
Wow.
All right. You got to think back to the games, okay? Question number 7. Which mythical Pokemon was only obtainable via a glitch in the original Red and Blue version games?
Mew?
You got it.
Nice.
That's the one where you had to do all this junk and you found them under a truck. A lot of people are saying that's fake, but what a lot of people who try to do it is you have to be very specific in your movements, your locations, and what you do before you get to the truck to get Mew, because I actually was able to get Mew in Blue version doing it.
So it's not a glitch. That's just a real secret character.
No, it's a massive glitch, because in Blue and Red, it would come up Mew, like it would say Mew, but it was just it looked like a QR code. And that's what people don't realize is in a lot of the remakes, so like whenever people buy the knockoff cartridges at the conventions, it's a physical Mew that pops up because they
Big difference.
recoded it for it.
Yeah.
But whenever you play the original and you get a Mew, it just looks like a QR code. It's jumbled up dots.
Oh, no
And
image.
it's a mythological Pokemon that you can catch. It's hardest not to catch it, but you don't actually see what it looks like. Whenever you would use it in a battle, and this is where the glitch would come in. Whenever you would use it in a battle, if you were using it, you could see the back of its head, but it would flicker. It'd go from the dots to the back of Mew's head. So it was freaky.
That's pretty
But
cool.
It's Mew.
Yeah.
And then in yellow version, you could actually produce a Mew through breeding. So
That's interesting.
yeah, a little bit of game history for you.
Uh-huh.
Question number 8. What is the maximum number of Pokemon you can carry in your party?
6?
K2 got it again.
Nice.
Gamers coming out of it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Question number 9. Which Pokemon is known as the Renegade Pokemon? This one's a little newer.
No idea. See, I'm a Sony gamer, so
Nah.
I don't really know about Nintendo gaming.
You weren't a Game Freak person?
Not really.
No.
No. Got nothing.
Be Giratina.
Giratina.
Question number 10. What are the starter Pokemon for Gen 3?
This is Ruby. Right? Ruby and Sapphire. Which I didn't even play.
It might have been even in Crystal. I'm not 100%. No, that is Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah, Crystal is part of those three.
Yeah. It's Ruby, Sapphire. And then I think also X and Y.
I think I would play Ruby now. I would go back and play that.
Yeah. I got Crystal
Nice.
up there in the case with my Game Boy Color.
I think Ruby was on the Advance. So maybe,
Yeah, Ruby was the advanced.
yeah,
It was Emerald and Ruby.
yeah.
Yep.
I got nothing.
Me either.
All right, we are looking at. I went down a little too far. We are looking at Trico, Torchic, and Mudkip.
Okay.
Yep. Question number 11. Which Pokemon is number 001 in the National Pokédex?
Magikarp?
Nope. Me and Raver Mom were talking about this a few days ago.
Charmander?
Nope.
Meowth?
No.
Bulbasaur?
It is Bulbasaur.
Nice.
It is Raver Mom's favorite. A little bit of history on Pokemon. According to the Pokemon creators, like the actual artists, even though Bulbasaur is number 1 in the National Pokédex, the original number 1 Pokemon that, you know, the first one ever created and put down on paper was Rhydon.
Really?
Yep. Rhydon, in all technicality, was the very first Pokemon ever made.
Oh, I always liked the way it looked.
Yep. That's pretty cool. Alright, so which legendary Pokemon trio is known as the Forces of Nature?
No idea.
Moltres, Zapdos, and I forget what the ice one was.
Articuno.
Articuno.
No.
No.
Not them. No. So you've already thrown in the towel. You got another guess? Bless you.
Thank you.
So the answer is Tornadus, Thundurus, and Landorus.
Oh,
They were
it's
like,
in the name.
yeah. All right, question number 13. Which Pokemon evolves into Kingambit?
Gambit?
No, he doesn't throw cards. He doesn't have a staff. He's not cool looking. No,
It's
I'm
not
kidding.
Cajun.
Nope. That's what I'm talking about right there.
I'm about to make a name for myself.
I got nothing.
It is Bisharp. No. Yeah, weird one. Okay. Number 14. Which Pokemon evolves only when leveled up while knowing the move rollout? And no, it's not Bumblebee.
Snorlax?
No.
Pass. I got nothing.
I know it's one of the Gen 2s. I've seen that move, but I don't know.
No, it's Gen 1.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I mean, the evolution didn't come out until 2, but it's a Gen 1 Pokemon. I love how the Transformer joke just went over everybody's head.
No, I understood the
It
reference.
apparently wasn't funny at all.
Oh!
My
Now I get
disappointment.
it.
My disappointment's funnier.
I have no idea.
Lickitung.
Oh.
Yep.
I wouldn't even think you had to roll out.
Yep.
Pow, pow, pow.
Question number 15. What type of Pokemon is Spiritomb?
Ghost type?
Yep.
Nice.
Question number 16. The Pokemon Hitmonlee is based on which famous figure of real life?
Bruce Lee.
Muhammad Ali?
Bruce Lee.
Oh.
It was Bruce Lee.
Muhammad Ali. I love that. That's great.
Okay, so bonus question to that. Who was Hitmonchan named after?
Jackie Chan.
Yeah, Jackie
Yeah.
Chan.
I know my kung fu movies.
What about Hitmontop?
I guess I don't know that one.
It definitely wasn't it, man.
No, definitely not.
All right, so you guys are currently tied. All right, question number 17. How many types of Pokemon are there?
Yeah.
Different
Not-
types?
Not the number of Pokemon,
Oh.
the types of Pokemon.
12.
No.
$14.
No. That just chewed up yours.
now K2 is literally naming each one in his head.
Yeah.
What's crazy is there's probably more than what you think.
Yeah.
That's why I guessed high.
Not high enough.
Wow.
18?
18 is correct.
Wow. Good job. It's tough to think of 18 anything.
I know, I'm
Pokemon
only
types.
getting like half. I know there's got to be more, and I know you said 14, so I'm like,
That's impressive.
All right. Number 18. Which is the oldest Pokemon in the game universe? The hint is this Pokemon has been seen on the cover of the game.
what do you mean? Like,
Old in universe or old to the franchise by
No,
creation?
in the gaming universe. Like in the universe of the games. It has been deemed the oldest, like most ancient of Pokemon, and it did appear on the cover of the game.
I feel like it's one of those covers that's got like multiple things on it.
Nope. Its name is on the game too.
Pokemon?
XY?
Yeah, no. Nope, and it's not a game called Pokemon.
Pokemon, that's the oldest one.
No, it's not XY.
Pikachu?
Nope. You just used up yours.
I used one.
That was two.
Oh, it was two.
Yeah.
It was two.
I'm blanking on the name of it. I can picture it. Like a four-legged like horse with like a green like collar thing.
Green collar.
I think it's the,
Green collar thing.
like it's a deity like type Pokemon, right? Like a god.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think it's the one I'm thinking of. I just don't know its name.
The name of the Pokemon is Arceus.
Yeah, I was way off.
Well,
The game was released on the Nintendo Switch, and it was called Pokemon Legends of Arceus.
wait, let me see.
Never
Let me
heard
just
of
see
it.
if it was the one I was thinking of.
Oh, the Pokemon.
Yeah, the Pokemon.
That one.
Yeah, that was the one. Oh, okay, yeah, it wasn't around his head. It was over down.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that was the
Collar
one I was
around his
thinking of.
neck?
I'm
No.
like,
All right. So, question 19. Which Pokemon has exactly 1 HP at all times?
Magikarp?
Nope. You could level a Magikarp up with some HP, man.
Yeah.
This is a newer one.
I don't know.
That's my only guess.
It's called Shedinja,
Stealth based.
from the sound of it. Yeah. Ninja. Yeah. All right, question 20. I'm expecting a showdown on this one, so I guess it's going to be whoever can name them fastest. What are the starter Pokemon for Gen 1?
Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur.
You didn't even try.
I didn't play the first one.
And the winner with 7 points is K2.
Nice. Wasn't even a contest.
Well, it's 5-7.
Oh.
I think that was pretty good.
I think my knowledge of Kung Fu
Yeah.
gave me a boost somewhere in there.
Your knowledge of Kung Fu did give you a
It did.
boost. It's okay. I got a lot of Kung Fu movies myself.
Mhm.
I like the Ip Man movies.
Yeah, some of the best to come out as of late.
Yeah, the Tony Jai movies are pretty decent too, even though that's Thai-based versus Chinese.
Yeah, that's why.
Before we close in prayer, our website is officially online. We officially have our website up. It is revsotakushop.com. And if you go there, you'll have links to our shop. You'll have links to some information on our podcast. You can actually listen to our podcast on the website, as well as see new review episodes as they come up. Also has links to our social media on there as well if you click on the podcast tab. We also have information a little bit. If you go to the About page, it has our history kind of on there a little bit, and the different parts of our ministry and business as they came up and what the purpose behind each of those is. We also have a page specifically for the studio, for the producer. It on there, it is the studio that we are produced under. It is the where you're going to find our soundtrack whenever it's released. You will see a preview of the album cover on there, but also other artists and stuff that will have been or will be produced by the studio. You'll also see the albums come up there. They are faith and fandom based whenever it comes to what's being produced from the studio, so it's pretty cool there. So go check out our website, go to our shop, buy some merch, buy some coffee, check it out. We do have it's been out for about 2 weeks, but we pre-released it a little early on the old platform, but now that we have the website up, we do have a release on acrylic standees of our podcast avatars. And I know that currently Techs-Mechs went on there to order a set, and we are already sold out. So as soon as they are back in stock, they will be back up for sale. So keep an eye out on that, and we'll keep an eye out on our end, and we will announce whenever they are back in stock. But apparently they are just that popular. But they will be there for a limited time. We will have the standees up for sale to the end of the Christmas season, and then they will not be put up again unless for some reason we think it needs to be re-released. So go check it out, support our podcast. Also, we are wanting to go out and meet you guys. We want to do some events, some conventions, but this podcast is currently being funded out of mine and Raver Mom's pockets. So if you purchase any merchandise from the shop, that will go toward supporting this ministry, supporting this podcast. But also, if you go to the website, you go to the podcast tab, and you go all the way down to the bottom, there is an area where you can donate to the podcast. Specifically, it doesn't go to the shop or anything like that. It's specifically to support the podcast. And if you could, if God lays it on your heart, and you want to give to the podcast, you can give there, and it will go directly to the podcast. So join us as we close in prayer. Father God, I thank you for showing us through your word what it is to be a caregiver. But you also show us what it is to be a caregiver in our masculinity. That we are able to look at Brock's life in the Pokemon world, and we are able to see the biblical moral of what it is to be a man and a caregiver. God, I pray that as we move on through our lives, as we move on into this world that you've created, that we take on the persona of a caregiver, and we show care to the people that are around us, to the people who need help, to the people who need to be lifted up, and we show them what it is to be a godly caregiver. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Well, thanks for hanging out with us on Rebs Otaku Talk. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, and don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook at Rebs Otaku Talkers and on X at Rebs Otaku Talk. We'd love to hear from you, so drop a comment, leave a review, and share your favorite God and anime moments with the community. Also, check out Rebs Otaku Shop at our new website, rebsotakushop.com, and grab some awesome merch, and don't miss out on a bag of Rebs Con Kohi coffee. The link is in the description below. Until next time, keep your anime collection strong and your faith stronger. See you later, guys.
Take care, all.
Hasta la vista.
He did it.
Naruto, God speaks in ways you didn't know. Stories rise like rising sun. We break them down one by one. True, this ain't just hype, it's revelation. Anime with holy inspiration. Otaku life with transformation. Faith and fandom, no limitation. It's Ribs! Otaku talk! From JoJo's post to Spirit Lead, we laugh, reflect, and plant that seed. It's Ribs! Otaku talk! So hit that play, don't walk away. Let's geek and grow in Jesus' way. O-T-A-K-U, talking truth in all we do. Revs crew, rolling through. Faith meets fandom just for you.
Otaku.